Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Technique Tuesday, episode number 7. It's Krista Ritzkis with Simply Creating with Close to My Heart, and we are going to talk about wood embellishments today. And we've got a lot of fun stuff. I've got lots of really fun ideas I want to show you with what you can do with these little embellishments. Before I go into details though, what I want to do is show you a little bit about what we offer with these wood embellishments. So first of all of the wood that you can purchase from Close to My Heart is cut right in-house. It's developed and cut, packaged, everything right from our warehouse in Utah. So, and it's done with a kind of veneer. I'm not sure what kind of wood. I kind of asked the question, but I haven't found out yet what kind of wood it is. But if I could show you smell, it smells wonderful. I love the wood smell. But anyway, in the catalog, let me show you. There are a lot of different options that we have, and I'm going to show you some of these up close as I have the packages. But we have wood buttons and arrows and hearts and stars. These are the ones that I'm going to be working with today. We have happy birthday sentiments, hugs and hello sentiments, and here at the bottom we've got love today, a bunch of different ones, as well as love this. So these are some various ones. And you'll also see in the catalog that we've got some colored ones that go with it. Those are not wood. Those are made out of acrylic plastic. So they're different, and you can't do the same things with those as you can do with the wood ones. You'll also notice this is my catalog, and I have a lot of check marks beside these because I own almost all the wood ones, just because I love the versatility of what you can do with wood, with the wood embellishments. So these are the ones, and let me just give you, so here's a new package of wood hearts, and there are a lot of different, there's a lot of pieces in here, lots and lots. And so the idea is that you have both outline hearts and filled in hearts, and you can do different things with those. Here is an example of the hugs and hello. So you can see that they're a lot bigger than they show in the catalog. Okay, this one especially, this one's one of my favorites. Like, these are great for well, you could put them on a card, but they're also good for scrapbooking. They're safe for your photos and all of that kind of thing. So there's really fun. And you'll see too, especially with this one, there's kind of, you can see there's almost like ink distressing on the edges of some of them. It depends. It totally depends on what, how they come out of the cutter, I'm guessing. But this is an arrows one. I love this arrows one. It's got some really cute, some with words, lots of different styles, and then this is the love today. So this is, you're looking at the back of it, but happy birthday, and there's another happy birthday, or shine bright, and a big love. There's a lot of really fun stuff you can do with these. And so you will have seen this card. Do you remember this card? Showed you how to do this tree, and I talked about this star. Now this is a wood star. It's basically one of these ones, the small one. So what I'm doing here is showing you a variation in sizes of the stars. And one of my favorite ways to dress these up is with Distress Oxide inks. Now, Distress Oxide inks are different than our normal inks. They are a mix of water-based and pigment ink, and so they sit differently, and I'm going to show you the difference on these ones here. So this star was colored with candied apple, and the colors I'm using today are available to purchase right now, but they're not going to last long. So if you want some of these inks, you need to go right now to simplycreating.ctmh.com and order them now. There's only 4 colors available right now, but this is candied apple, and look at how beautiful that comes out. Okay, I'm not going to use candied apple because I want to show you the difference. So I'm actually going to use mustard seed, because stars can be yellow, right? So mustard seed is our first one that I'm going to use. And it's the first technique. So we sell these lovely little holders, the foam tool, And these come in a package of 2 with 4 foam pads. You can also buy a package of these separately, and what you want to do is have one for every color of Distress Oxide inks that you own. And let me move those down a little bit so you can see. All right, so I'm going to pop the lid off, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to color these. And I think I'm going to use this big star right here, this wood star. I'm just going to ink up my my foam. Now I already have, it's quite saturated already, so I probably don't need tons on there, but I'm not going to go in a circular motion like you might do with this. I'm just going to pounce up and down. And what I want to do is show you the difference between the Distress Oxide ink. And I'm going to do some more in-depth videos with the Distress Oxide inks in the future. I'm just waiting to see until, you know, our supply gets in and you can actually order them. But there you go. So that didn't take much time at all, and there it is, all finished. Okay, so you can see how nice and bright that is. It's a very deep pigmented ink, but it does take a while to dry. So keep that in mind when you're working with these. I'm going to set that aside and close my ink up now. You'll also notice I'm not on my normal wood base or table. I have my all-purpose mat here. So I'm just going to clean that up because it gets everywhere. And then I'm just going to dry it so that I can move on to my next project. Because that ink does get everywhere. And in fact, if your fingers aren't colored because of Distress Oxides, you've done something wrong. Okay, I'm actually going to leave this here so you can see the difference. And now what I'm going to do is bring in Lemonade, which is our normal water-based ink, dye ink. And it's just water-based. This is the one that you use most of the time, right? And so we're going to use Lemonade. And what I'm going to do, yeah, I guess I'll use the same style star. So this is as close to the color of the mustard seed as I could get. So I'm going to ink up my sponge dauber, and I'm going to apply the color the same way. Now you might, these methods really are entirely up to you and your preferences. But that is, so there's Lemonade. So if I can show you the difference on the ink pads. Okay, so here's Lemonade and mustard seed. Now let me hold these two up here closer, so hopefully you can see that. I'm just checking. So the wood green, so it's a little hard to tell here. I don't know if you can tell that great, but this allows the wood grain still to show, but not as much. You can see more wood grain on this one, but the coverage in this particular color is pretty good. It has a different look to it. So this one looks like it's soaked right into the wood, and I'm hoping that the camera is focusing on that. This is soaked right into the wood. This one kind of has sat on top of it a bit, and so it's a little bit different sort of look. But that's how you do that. Those are the differences in that. So I'm going to set those aside. The other thing you can do, and maybe I'll just clean this off in case I got some of that ink on my table here. So the other things you can do, so obviously you can ink up your stars or your wood grain, whatever it is, or you can even edge distress them like you would a piece of paper. So I'm bringing in my espresso ink. And I'm going to do this nice big one because that's easier for you to see. I just have a piece of our sponge that I usually cut these into 8s so that they last longer. And you'll see it's already got ink on it and stuff, but it's just in the same color family. So just like I would do any other thing, any paper, you can add some distressing to the outside of your project or your embellishment, whatever you want, whichever one you're using. Could be a title. If you want that really distressed look, you can absolutely add ink to it that way. Whoops. All right. So that's a really quick and easy way. Now, obviously, if you're looking at some of these more intricate designs, that will be harder to do. So you probably want to use that edging technique. in a more solid or easy, it doesn't have a lot of little nicks and areas around the outside like this one might. All right, now this part here is one of my favorites. So I'm going to bring in a bunch of fun little things that you can do with these. So stickles and liquid pearls are becoming my favorite embellishments. I am having so much fun, and the wood really takes these very, very well. And so, for example, let's do the liquid pearls. This one is white opal. And so, again, some of these, they're held up in the manufacturer. They're not all in stock, but we do have some colors. So the liquid pearls, and I'm going to do this on the tiniest one. And I'm just going to squeeze a little bit. And I think this might have been, I might have used this already. Hold on a second. Let me get, I have this piercer, an old piercer from, but you can very easily basically paint, just paint, and I'm just going to put it right in the middle there. You only need a really tiny bit. Oh, I turned over. There's my star. So now I can actually just use this to... Oh, okay, this is not going well. Hold on. I should have used tweezers. All right, let's do that again. So there's a live lesson learned. Use tweezers for these little guys. So I'm really just putting such a teeny tiny little amount of this stuff on, and I'm just going to spread it around a little bit with my piercer, or you could do that with your scissors or any little tip to just move it around, kind of like you would with cookie decorating, actually. So there is a bit of liquid pearl. I'm trying to see if my camera, there we go. Yeah, so, and this is just add some really nice subtle dimension and sheen, and you can do whatever color you want, really, and whatever it's available. The other thing, so that's with liquid pearl. You can also use stickles in the same way. I'm actually going to use goldenrod. I'm into gold, right? It's Christmas. So what I'm going to do is just squeeze and get, I've used a lot of this. I'm just going to put it right over top. You can also add stickles after you have colored your star. I'm not doing that here because you want to make sure the ink is good and dry before you add the stickles. Otherwise everything's going to kind of blend together. You might love that look, but you could play with it. There are two sides after all, so you could play with one side. If you don't like how it looks, just flip it over and use the other side. For things like this, obviously words, it won't work, but little icons and things like the stars and the hearts and the arrows could probably easily be flipped over. So you just kind of paint the whole surface with stickles. So in here, this is where you want, this is why I always have a wet wipe, or I'm like getting covered in stuff. So there's one example. So the same way you might cover the whole thing, just like I did with this one. Hopefully you can still see that there. With the little star. Move those all down a little bit. I'm off the screen, I think, a little bit. The same thing, you could just do, glisten is one of my favorite. Actually, I'm going to use platinum. I like platinum too. You can go all the way around the outside. I've used quite a bit of my platinum. I would say that probably my favorite way to use the wood embellishments is to color them, or just to edge them a little bit with ink, or even just to leave them wood, depending on what my project needs. But there are so many ways that you can, and okay, so that's why I love them more than the acrylic plastic options in the catalog, because you can make them whatever color you want. And they just take the ink so well. It's very cool. You can blend colors on top of them, especially with the Distress Oxides. There's lots of different ways to use these little guys to make them match exactly what you need for your project. And I think that's why I love them so much. So there, lots of different options for the wood embellishments. Now let me highlight one thing that's going out that's not going to be available by the end of this month, and that's why I want to make sure that you know about them. And that is our Merry Little Christmas promotion right now. So we've got these really fun wood ornaments and tags. So let me, okay. So here's how they come. They fold up and become three-dimensional. Isn't that, like, that will look so pretty on the tree, even just like that. Now you are going to need to use a little bit of glue or something, because if you hang, they just come apart. I don't know if you, hopefully you can see that. So keep that in mind when you are making these. You will need to glue them together so that they come apart, that they don't come apart easily. They come with the little holes. So this one is a snowflake. And oh my goodness, they smell so amazing. And then we have a round ornament. They go together so easily. There we go. So really, really fun. You can put paper on these. You can, and these actually come with SVG files, so you can cut exactly these intricate designs on your Cricut or even your silhouette. And then we have the tree. All right, so those are the three. You can get them all individually. So just a set of trees, just a set of ornaments, or you can get the whole kit, all three designs. We also have wood tags. So this is a set, this is one set of wood tags. Okay, and then they also come plain without the cutout here. So lots of different options. These are going to be gone. I'll be honest with you, if you order them now, you will not get them in time for Christmas. The shipping is super, super slow right now. They're backed up at the warehouse because we have so many orders, which is awesome. It's a great problem to have. But also, as I'm sure you're aware, couriers and Canada Post are really, really, really slow right now. I'm still waiting for orders that have been sitting in Mississauga for 2 weeks. So, or almost 2 weeks. So things are slow. You won't get these in time for Christmas, but you could start making them for next year. And they are really beautiful. And obviously the plain tags could be used at any time. So those are going to be gone by the end of the month. But anyway, so think about I'd love to see what you do with wood embellishments. These are available in the catalog all year, as well as all the other ones I showed you at the beginning of the video. And I hope that you'll have some fun with those. And remember, you can use them to dress up pretty much any project you like. So this was my red star right there. All right. Okay, so if you have any questions, remember, Distress Oxide ink, regular ink, liquid pearls, stickles, and edge distressing with regular ink. Okay, so those are some ideas you can use. If you have any questions, please comment below, and I will see you. Oh, I should say I'm going to take a break over the Christmas holidays from Technique Tuesdays, just because my kids are home and my husband's taking time off work, so we're going to have some family time, which I'm looking forward to. So I will see you back in the new year, and until then, Merry Christmas, and I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in January. Bye.